Paul, can I admit something a little embarrassing?
Always.
Last weekend, I didn't talk to another human being out loud for almost 2 full days.
Oh.
And I have a phone full of contacts, a calendar that's usually full, friends I genuinely love. But I just didn't reach out, and nobody reached out to me either.
No, I get it. Honestly, last month I realized I hadn't had a real conversation with a friend, not a text, an actual conversation in almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks? And you have people who care about you.
That's the strange part. It's not that I'm friendless, it's more like everyone's busy, including me, and somehow weeks just slide by.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? It's never really about not having people.
No, it's something quieter, like everyone's technically reachable, but somehow nobody's actually reached.
Okay, that is uncomfortably accurate. So today, we're talking about loneliness. The quiet kind. The kind that hides even when your life looks full from the outside.
Spoiler, you're not broken for feeling this way, and you're definitely not the only one.
Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Emily.
And I'm Paul, a man who recently discovered he can go 3 weeks without a real conversation and still somehow reply to 40 messages a day.
Very online, very alone. A strange modern combination.
Thank you. I contain multitudes.
Today, we're talking about loneliness, why it's become so common, why it's so hard to admit, and what actually helps versus what just looks like it helps. We'll talk about why loneliness doesn't always look like being alone, why it's so uncomfortable to say out loud, and a few small, honest things that genuinely make a difference. This episode is B1 to B2 level, so we'll keep the English clear and useful for real conversations.
Later, in Word Tour, we'll slow down 5 useful words for talking about connection and isolation.
And in Say It Better, we'll turn a few honest, simple sentences into more natural English.
So by the end of this episode, you'll understand this quiet feeling a little better, and you'll have the words to actually talk about it in English with someone you trust.
Before we start, think about this. When's the last time you felt truly alone, even while surrounded by people, messages, or noise?
Let's get into it.
Okay, so why is this such a hidden problem? Loneliness isn't new. People have always felt it sometimes. Why does it feel like such a quiet epidemic right now?
I think part of it is that loneliness today doesn't look the way we expect. We imagine someone sitting completely alone. No friends, no plans, no messages.
The classic, obvious image.
Exactly. But real loneliness now often looks like a full phone and an empty evening. Constant notifications, but no actual conversation.
Oh, that's such a good distinction. You can have hundreds of contacts and still feel like nobody would notice if you disappeared for a week.
Exactly that feeling. And because it doesn't look like the obvious version, people don't even recognize it as loneliness in themselves. They just feel a vague, low kind of sadness and don't know why.
Right, and if you don't have the word for it, it's really hard to talk about it or even ask for help.
That's exactly why it's an epidemic nobody admits to. It doesn't announce itself clearly, and even when you notice it, admitting it feels almost shameful.
Why do you think it feels shameful specifically?
I think because we associate loneliness with failure somehow. Like if you were interesting enough or likable enough, you wouldn't feel this way.
Oh, that's so unfair, though. Loneliness isn't really a measure of how likable you are. No, definitely not. It's often more about circumstance. Moving to a new city, working from home, a schedule that doesn't match your friends' schedules, or just life getting busier and busier. Right, structural things, not personal failures. Exactly. But it doesn't feel that way in the moment. In the moment, it feels very personal, like a quiet verdict about you specifically. That really resonates. Now, here's something interesting. Do you think being around people actually helps? Or is it more about the quality of connection?
Ooh, good question.
Honestly, I think this is where a lot of people get stuck. You can go to a party, be surrounded by 20 people, and still come home feeling completely unseen because the conversations were all surface level. Exactly. How's work? Crazy weather? Small talk that fills the air but doesn't actually connect to people. So, quantity of interaction isn't really the fix. No, I don't think so. I think it's more about depth. Even one honest, real conversation can genuinely change how you feel for days. That matches something I've noticed too. I can go a whole week seeing people casually and still feel lonely. But one deep, honest phone call with an old friend completely resets something in me. It really does something different, doesn't it? Like your nervous system finally exhales. That's such a good way to put it. So if depth matters more than quantity, why do we default to shallow interactions so often? I think it's safer. Small talk doesn't risk rejection. If I ask, "How are you?" and you say, "Fine," nobody's exposed, nobody's vulnerable. Right, whereas a real conversation risks someone saying, "Actually, I'm really struggling." And then you both have to sit in that discomfort together. Exactly. And a lot of us, myself included, aren't great at sitting in that discomfort, so we avoid it, even with people we love. So loneliness partly comes from everyone quietly avoiding the exact thing that would fix it. That's kind of devastating when you say it like that. It is. But I think it's also hopeful in a strange way. If the fix isn't about finding more friends or being more interesting, it's just about being willing to have one honest conversation. It feels much more achievable than become a more likable person, which honestly isn't even a real solvable problem. Right. That's not a to-do list item. So, practically, what do we actually do with this? If someone's listening right now and recognizing this feeling in themselves, what's a real first step? I think the first step is just naming it, even privately. I think I've been feeling lonely lately. Just admitting that to yourself already loosens its grip a little. That's true. Naming a feeling takes away some of its power somehow. Second, I'd say reach out first, even though it feels vulnerable. Send the message, make the call, suggest the coffee. Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be you. That's scary advice, honestly, but I think it's right. I've noticed that almost every time I reach out first, the other person is actually relieved, not annoyed. Exactly, because they were probably waiting for someone else to go first too. Everyone's quietly waiting for someone else to make the first move. It's kind of funny in a sad way. It really is. And third, go for depth over frequency. One honest hour-long conversation is worth more than 10 quick, "Hey, how's it going?" texts. I like that as a small practical rule. Depth over frequency. And finally, I think it helps to remember that feeling lonely doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It usually just means you're a person who needs connection, which is a completely normal, human thing to need. That's a good note to sit with, honestly. Can I add one more angle before we move on? I think this hits differently depending on your living situation, too. Oh, definitely. Like working from home. Exactly. When I worked in an office, I complained about small talk constantly. But looking back, that small talk was actually doing something. It was daily, low effort contact with other humans.
Right, and now you can go a whole day without saying a single word out loud if you work from home.
Genuinely. Some days my only spoken words are to a delivery driver.
Paul, thanks. Have a good one. Your entire social interaction for the day.
Basically, yes. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much that small, casual daily contact was actually protecting them from feeling isolated.
That's such an important point. It's not always about deep friendship. Sometimes it's just having a few small human moments spread through your day.
Right, a mix of both. Small daily contact and occasional deep connection. Losing either one has a real effect.
So, if someone works from home or lives alone, what would you suggest?
Honestly, building in small, low-pressure contact on purpose. A coffee shop instead of working from your kitchen table sometimes. A regular class or group activity, even a small one. Time for Word Tour, where we slow down a few useful words for today's topic.
Our first word, isolated.
Isolated.
Isolated. It means feeling separate or disconnected from other people, even if they're physically nearby.
I felt isolated even though my apartment building is full of people.
Such a specific, honest sentence for this exact feeling.
Our next word? Connection.
Connection.
Connection. It means a genuine, meaningful bond between people, not just contact or communication.
I wasn't looking for more messages. I was looking for real connection.
That sentence really captures the difference we've been talking about today.
Our next word? Vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Vulnerable. It means willing to show your true feelings, even though it feels risky or exposing. Being vulnerable with a friend is what actually deepens a relationship. Such an important word for this whole topic, honestly. Our next word? Reach out. Reach out. Reach out, it's a phrasal verb meaning to contact someone, especially to offer or ask for support. I decided to reach out to an old friend instead of waiting for her to text first. I love that example. It directly connects the word to actual practical advice. Our final word? Belonging. 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 It's the feeling of being accepted and valued as part of a group or relationship. Exactly. Familiarity itself is comforting, even without deep friendship attached to it. What I actually needed wasn't more plans. It was a sense of belonging.
That's such a beautiful, precise way to end this list. It names the deeper thing underneath all of today's conversation.
One more before we move on. Familiarity.
Familiarity.
Familiarity. It means the comfort of recognizing someone or something, even without deep closeness, like a regular face at a coffee shop.
There's a real comfort in familiarity.
Even with people I don't know very well. Such a gentle, often overlooked word. It reminds us that connection doesn't only come in the form of deep friendship.
So today's words: isolated, connection, vulnerable, reach out, belonging, and familiarity. Not fancy words, just the ones that describe exactly what's missing on a quiet Tuesday evening, even when your phone won't stop buzzing.
So, where does this leave us? Loneliness probably isn't something that fully goes away for anyone, forever. It comes and goes with seasons of life. Moving, changing jobs, growing apart from old friends.
Right. The goal was never feel lonely again. That's not really realistic for anyone.
No. The real goal is recognizing it earlier, naming it honestly, and remembering that reaching out first isn't weakness. It's usually exactly what the other person was quietly hoping someone would do.
And giving yourself permission to want real depth, even if it feels a little scary to ask for.
It really is worth asking for. So if you're listening to this and something in today's episode felt a little too familiar,
Maybe today's the day you send that message you've been putting off.
even something small. Hey, I've been thinking about you. Want to catch up sometime?
That's a complete brave sentence. You don't need more than that. So that's today's episode. Loneliness, connection, and the quiet epidemic nobody admits to.
We covered why loneliness hides even in full, busy lives, why depth matters more than frequency, and a few small, honest steps that genuinely help.
And honestly, if you've been with us through our other episodes on mental health, mistakes, and comparison, this one fits right alongside them.
It really does. Underneath success, time, mistakes, and comparison, there's this even quieter thing. Just wanting to feel truly seen by another person.
Beautifully said.
I try.
In the comments, tell us, and only if you feel comfortable, is there someone you've been meaning to reach out to?
We read every single comment. And honestly, we relate to more of them than you'd think.
If you enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, and let us know what topic you want us to cover next.
Until next time,
Keep learning,
keep reaching out.
and we'll see you in the next episode.